Hello everyone, this short video is for your Excel assignment. So here in this video I'll show you how to prepare all those schedules that you learned in chapter 2 by using Excel. And I'm going to use the same example from your exercise question, problem number E226A, and we will prepare direct materials used calculation and cost of goods manufactured calculations and cost of goods sold calculations, and we will prepare small tables using some Excel formula. So you need to watch this video and you have to submit your Excel assignment by following the instructions in this video. So let's start. So if you see this problem, first we will prepare a short table where we're gonna calculate the direct material used. And what we learned in class, we will start with our beginning raw material inventory. So when you have to do these tables in Excel format, so make sure you prepare this table and write down all those labels for each numbers. I already did it, but this is just typing. You can click on a cell and you can type all those labels for every numbers. If needed, you can actually change the size and width of every cells. So first, let's enter the numbers. Just plug in the numbers and then later we will see how to do little addition, subtraction, referring cell, etc. So first let's plug in the beginning raw material inventory, and you see it's given here. It is $23,000. So I'll start writing $23,000, and then here we need to add how much direct material we purchased. And here you see given on this table 74,000. Purchase of direct material 74,000. So we will write it down. We purchased $74,000 raw materials. Now for the first line, you can actually put a dollar sign, and if you don't want to, you don't need to put dollar sign everywhere. We will understand these are all in dollar value. But if you want to show the same format, you can easily do it here from the format painter, and if you click, then it will show the same number in the same format. That means dollar value and the comma for thousands, separating the thousands. So now what we do, we actually figure out how much materials we have to use, and for that you have to add these two numbers, which are beginning raw material and the material you just purchased. So to add these two numbers, you need to put a little formula here. This is the cell you see B6. I want to show the total of these two. So you need to put an equal sign. So press the equal sign on your keyboard, and then we want to add cell number B4. So you clicked on B4. You can also check the formula here. Then you are going to add these two numbers. So press the plus sign and then add the other number, which is B5. So if you do that, then enter, and you will figure it out what is your total materials available for use. And then what do? We actually subtract our ending raw material inventory. So ending raw material inventory is given here, $25,000. So I'm gonna subtract it. So if you subtract it, you have to show it as a minus sign, or you can just write down the number and then we can put it in an subtraction formula, and I'll show you how we will figure it out. So here you see your ending raw material inventory is $25,000. So we have to subtract it, and if you want to show it in a small Excel formula, you can put here this equal sign, and this is your total materials available for use, and I want to subtract our ending raw material. So I put a minus sign and press that minus sign on your keyboard, and then press B7, which is showing our ending raw materials inventory. Now, if you enter it, you will find how much raw material actually you used. So you see, this is the way you can also do everything by using Excel. Now we will prepare our next schedule or table, which will calculate the cost of goods manufactured. And to start this one, we also need to check the beginning balance for work in process inventory. And it is given here, work in process beginning balance is $35,000. So I'm going to write it down here, $35,000. I'm plugging in the number. Then we have to add all three components of your manufacturing costs. And we already learned in this chapter, these are the three components: direct material used, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. So direct material used is actually you are getting from your previous table, which is here, $72,000. So what you need to do in this cell, you have to refer to this result, which is already in B8. So I pressed here and then I put an equal sign, and I'm referring here by clicking on that cell. That means now B13, which is this cell, is now showing B8's numbers. So if you enter your keyboard, and you will see that it is automatically showing by referring the number which is in B8. Now you have to plug in your direct labor. So direct labor is already mentioned here, which is $86,000. So I will type it here, $86,000. This is our direct labor. Now for manufacturing overhead. Manufacturing overhead is not directly given here, but we already know that what would be the components of these manufacturing overhead. We know all those indirect labor or anything related to the plants and manufacturing activities will be here under the manufacturing overhead. So if you remember, when we practiced the problem by hand, we included all these numbers which are indirect labor, and of course your insurance on plant and any depreciation or any other items related to your manufacturing plant. So now what I will do, I will add up all these, but I'll not write all the numbers. Rather, I use a small function here. I put an equal sign and I want to show what number I want to add. So first we're going to add indirect labor, which is $42,000. So you need to write it down, 42,000, then put a plus sign. You have to add the next item, which is insurance on plant, which is 11,500. Then we also need to add two other manufacturing overhead item, because these are also related to your plant, which is depreciation and repair and maintenance. So I'm going to add all these numbers, 13,400 plus the last item for our overhead is here 3,700. So now after adding all these number, this is how you will write it, and look in the function column, it will also show what we are writing as a function in a specific cell. So now if you put enter, you will see that it automatically adds up to all those numbers, and it will show you your total manufacturing overhead cost. Now all together, your beginning work in process and all these three components of your overhead, all together we call it total manufacturing costs to account for. So what you need to do in this cell, you have to add all these items. So you can add all one at a time, putting a plus sign, or you can also use one small function. This is called sum function. So this is how you can learn a little bit of Excel. SUM, sum function. You write sum, and you see here it is also showing you the function, and then you have to refer all the cells, all those cells that you want to sum or you want to add it, and you have to put a small bracket. And what are the numbers you want to add? So now then I want to add all these numbers. Although I have a blank cell, it doesn't matter. I can just select the first one, and I'm just using my drop down arrow, this arrow, and then I selected all these. Now I'm pressing again like shift button and closing this bracket, because remember, whenever you will use any function, that should be within a bracket, the cells that you want to refer. So what I did, I wrote sum, or you can also check it from your function, and then I put all those cells that I want to add within a bracket. So once you write it down, you can click here, enter, and it shows actually all these numbers added up. So there are two ways you can do addition. You can do one by one, like B2 plus B3 plus B4, like this way, or you can use the sum function. So now here we always subtract our ending work in process inventory. So what I'm gonna do, I'll write it down, our ending work in process inventory, which is given here, $31,000. So I'm writing $31,000, and then I will show my number, which is our cost of goods manufactured, which I already know. This is my total manufacturing costs to account for, which is in B16. Then I put a small minus sign, and I always subtract ending work in process. So I refer that cell which is showing ending work in process, and I click enter. So this is how you can calculate your cost of goods manufactured, which is 232,600. So this is another way to do these charts that we learned in this chapter by using Excel. Now we will do our final table, which is calculation of cost of goods sold. So all numbers are here. You already did it by hand. Now just try to do it in Excel. Make this beautiful fancy table, and you already have the chart that I posted on Blackboard. So I hope you will type and label all the numbers. I didn't show it to you just to save the video time, but you can do it. So now let's do how we can calculate the cost of goods sold. You know that we always start with our beginning finished goods inventory, right? So what is our beginning balance of finished goods inventory? It's given here, it's 20,000. So I'll just plug in the number here, right? 20,000. Then we add cost of goods manufactured. Again, you don't need to type what is the total cost of goods manufactured, like 232,600. Since it's already here within our Excel cell, you can just refer it. How you can refer it? Click on this cell, put an equal sign, and then click on the cell that is showing the number. So I want to refer what is in B18. This is B, this is 18. So if I click, now it will show what we already have, B18, which is our cost of goods manufactured. So now if we add these two numbers, what we get cost of goods available for sale. So you already know how to add it. You can just use plus sign, or you can use sum function. Usually sum function is really helpful when you have to add like several cells together. If it's for only 2 or 3 cells, you can also use simple add function. So that means I want to add B here 21, and then I put a plus sign, and then B22. This is how you can easily add two numbers in an Excel format. Now the final task is to subtract our ending finished goods inventory. So if you look at here, the table is also showing what is your ending finished goods inventory, which is $22,000. So let's write it down, since those are on my problem and it's not now on my Excel sheet, I could not refer it. So first time when you type it, you have to take it from the problem or Word document or from your book and type it down. Once you have the number on the Excel, then you can refer it. You don't need to type it again. So now here I just typed here our ending finished goods inventory, which is 22,000. And now we will figure out what is our cost of goods sold. And you already know this is your cost of good available for sale, which is in B23. Then we subtract our ending finished goods inventory, and this is how you can calculate your cost of goods sold by using little Excel formula. And you will see that it totally matched with what you did by hand, and your task is to prepare these schedules following the numbers that I did you on your assignment problem. Make your own Excel sheet, save it by your last name and upload it on Blackboard. Thank you very much.